Hi again. So, I do get stuck in this trap of knowing what's best. Is anybody else getting that trap? Comment below. um, I get stuck in the trap of knowing what's best because of some experience I've had or some realizations I've had for myself along the way, or even some hurts that I've experienced as a result of something that someone has gone through, is going through, and that I've seen the outcome of. And that if they just make these changes or if they just do this, then they're going to be better, but they're not asking for it. So now what do I do with that? Because what that ends up being is unsolicited advice, and sometimes I can't help it. Like if I love someone so much and I just want for their health and happiness and safety, at least that's the first thing that gets brought up, right? That's the initial layer, right, of what's happening. I'm like, they need to make this change because they're going to be happier if they do. Or they need to do this thing because they're going to feel better and they're going to be healthier. They got to do this thing because I've seen this thing happen before and I don't want my friend to go through it, whatever it might be, or my family member. And it's so interesting is if you go down beneath that next layer, that layer there, what you're going to see is what's really going on. Okay? So if you have that thing happen with you where you're like, but I know what they need, right? Let's if we just took a moment and took that out completely and we said, I don't know what they need. But I have 20 years of experience in this thing and I know what they need. Yeah, you might, but you don't really. Because everybody is on their own unique journey. They are connecting the dots internally in their own ways. They are having a process that you are not on the inside of, Now, I will say this, that if you feel strongly, like just suddenly strongly, and almost the words cannot be held back, I love you, and I want you here with me, or I love you, and I'm seeing this thing happen with you, and you should do this. Like if sometimes that just happens, it just comes out. I know it comes out for me. I'll be genuine, I'll be authentic and real here. It comes out with me. And they cannot feel loved in that necessarily, right? And you're like, but I said I love them. Right? But I caveated the whole thing and said that I love them. Of course you did, because you do love them. So I don't want to take that away, and I don't want you to feel wrong for the things that just pop out from time to time. It happens. If we go one layer deeper and we find out what is it really happening in you as the advisor of someone not asking for it, what is it in you that has this, oh, I got to tell them thing. So sometimes it's, like I said, evidential based. It's something you've experienced in your own life, or it's something that you've helped a lot of people with, and you've seen the transformations. So this is how we shift it, okay? Is that we say, all right, I got to take a step back here because I'm feeling emotions about their choices. I'm having opinions about their choices. Okay, let's step back. Whew. Why do I have an opinion about their choice? What's happening in me that is causing me to have an opinion about their choice? Oh, I want to be right. I love being right. I love knowing my stuff. I love knowing so much about this particular thing that I feel confident I can give them the right advice. All right, let's go one level deeper. When you've given advice in the past and it wasn't taken, what happened? And how did it hurt you? Or what showed up for you in that? Well, when people don't take my advice, I feel XYZ about it. I get angry, irritated, frustrated. Okay, so when we get to the core of it. Okay, so when you feel angry, irritated, frustrated, sad, what's underneath that? Well, I don't want them to die. I don't want to feel abandoned. I don't want to be left alone. I don't want to hurt like that again. I don't want to go through that grieving process again. I don't want them to feel as alone as I did when I was going through that thing, right? I don't want them to experience the pain that I experienced, right? And we find this a lot in parent-child relationships too, you know? So I don't want them to go through that. However, I would make this suggestion, is that whenever, this would be part of a suggestion, whenever I would go to my grandmother and I would say, this horrible, bad, terrible thing is happening, she would laugh in my face about it. She would actually not laugh in my face. She would laugh. She would laugh because whatever that dramatic thing that was happening, she could see so much more around it. She would just laugh. And I would go, Grandma, this is serious. And then she would tighten up her face and she'd go, oh, serious. and then I would go, Grandma, come on, like, you don't understand. This is a really bad, hard thing. And she would go, well, darling, you're developing. You're developing. She released all attachment to my outcomes. She released all attachments to her feelings about my outcomes, right? And in those moments, what it did for me, and I don't know if it would do it for everyone, but what it did for me was it helped me to become a little less attached as well. You know, I became a little less attached. And so when I became a little less attached, then we could get to the loving part. You know, we could get to the good part. Where my pitfall has been is, you know, I will get upset at the situation or circumstance that the other person is going through or have in the past. Not as much anymore, but with some close friends I do. And I have to take a step back and go, okay, Kira, you know a lot, but what's underneath? The underneath part is that I'm sad and I don't want to lose my friend. And the reason why I don't want to lose my friend is because I feel loved, I feel safe, I feel connected to them. I feel like a little bit helpless in it too. And I feel like I can't do anything to make them make a better choice because it's not my job. That's not my position in this world. So you can have all of the answers, but if somebody isn't willing to hear them, then it's okay to go, you know what, you're developing, things are happening. Things are happening, and I trust that you will find your way. And if you need me, I'm here. I'm here. And I'll be here for as long as it's right for me to be here. Is there anything you want to talk to me about this thing and how you're feeling about it? Because when we just give answers, we're trying to fix the situation, and it's very hard for people to feel loved in that. Really hard. And even though, like, from the South, I'm from the South, so worry is a love language in the South. Worry is oh, darling, I'm so worried about you. It's you know, like it's overwhelming. So there's 6 love languages now, and one of them is worry. When it comes to the South, maybe in certain other parts of the country, but. So we want to just take an inventory and go, what does my worry actually give them? What is my wanting them to make my choice give them? And you know what? It's going to give them more of a feeling of separation because they're already worried enough, potentially. They're already concerned enough about that thing that's happening for them. So adding more of that energy to it is going to create more challenges and difficulty in a variety of ways, sometimes a very light way, or maybe in no way at all, really. Depends on how attached they are to your opinion about what they're experiencing. So when you have a feeling like you are wanting to give advice, my recommendation would be step back, find out where is that coming from. Take a few good breaths and just say, okay, what's the truth here? What's the truth? And then from that place, after you've kind of gotten clear for yourself about what your motivation is for wanting to have an opinion about their choice, you can let it go and say, you know what? It's not going to be healthy for me to have an opinion over their choices, nor would it be healthy for me if someone else had an opinion of my choice and I decided that that I was going to let that take me out, right? So instead, we say, okay, that's my motivation. Now, how do I want to approach this from a place of unconditional love, where I have no expectation they do anything, change in any way, and how can I speak to them from that place? It's going to be very healing. It's going to be very changing for you. I know it has been for me. And remember, darling, you're always developing. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.